Hello there, I'm Jo Hawkins, and I just want to thank Tasmia of the Valued Voices for having me on the show. Thank you, Tasmia. So, I help women particularly with their businesses. I absolutely love entrepreneurship, and I love teaching women how to monetize their passion, how to take whatever knowledge and skills, their unique something, their value add that only they have, their unique signature, um, and translate that into a business that can really create great wealth. To do that, I love to include personal brand creation, confidence, learning to become the woman that you were created to be. I love working with men too, however, just to let you know, but I have a very special place in my heart for women empowerment. I think there's a lot still to be done in the world, and I think that it's such a high calling. And I absolutely love the missionary heart of women. You know, women are so often sacrificing themselves for everybody else. We're the peacekeepers. We're the ones who will, you know, just give everything up to help someone. And many times our own lives, our own businesses, our own value gets lost. And it's time for women to start standing up for that, because we can do so much more when we are empowered, when we are abundant in various ways, including wealth. There is so much more. You know, the studies show that when a man is enriched economically, that he does well and he'll invest and he'll do a few things. But when a woman is enriched economically, the whole community is raised. They find the kids get extra lessons. Neighbors' kids find extra clothes in their wardrobe. There's a way that women just lift a whole community. And so this is something very dear to my heart, is to help women to find their voice, to find their feet, and to decide to stand up for themselves. Because ladies, when you do, the world is going to change. I believe that women are here in the feminine genius, when we recognize our unique way of genius, which means our signature way that women can impact the world, which is very different to the way that men impact the world. We are so busy modeling the male role that we're forgetting that our role is completely different. And when we stand in the power of our feminine genius, that we do in fact move men and mountains, because ladies, the hands that rock the cradle rule the world. And that is always done in love. It's never done in a scornful way. It's always for the betterment of the whole world. And so that is why I absolutely love what I do and working with women. So the next question is how my work empowers and influences other women. So I work with women's transformation and business development. I also am a Pilates instructor, because I believe that there's something about developing your feminine curves, ladies, that it just enables the feminine side of us to bloom, become stronger, and really rock who we are in business and in life. So to me, that's very important. It gives us posture, it gives us pose. And the way that you move your body changes the way that you think. So for me, you know, all of these aspects are brought together. You've got the business side of it, developing your passion and learning how to monetize it. We've got the confidence side, learning how to stand in who we are and develop our feminine genius. I've got a very special program that I developed called the Feminine Genius Archetypes, which is based on the work of Dr. Carl Jung, a very famous psychologist. And it helps us bring together all of our shadows and those parts of ourselves that we've forgotten in the various feminine roles, and ways that we love the world, ways that we give back, ways that we nurture the world. It's very unique to women. And so healing that part of us that has forgotten those aspects and thought that they were wrong or weak, healing that part of us allows us to stand in our strength, but in a very feminine way, not in a strength that becomes aggressive and masculine. So that is very dear to my heart, the feminine genius archetypes retreats that I run. And the unstoppable you that I combine with it, enabling women to really learn how to rock their business and stand on their own feet and not be afraid of their greatness and their femininity, because the world is very much afraid of our gentleness and our femininity, the strength in the gentle. They don't really know how to handle that yet. And so we're either ridiculed or it's poo-pooed, and women dumb it down and they try to look very tough in business. And that's not at all the way that we are strong. We are strong in vulnerability, in our ability to connect, and in our ability to love and still be tough. So I love that work that I do. And then helping women to discover their unique value that can be monetized and rise in that strength. Find the different methods, the models that really empower women to do business in a feminine way. Feminine models of business are very, very, very special. And they're the ways that give women a lot more time to herself, more time to refresh, more time to be gorgeous and have a workout and chill at the beach or the pool for a while. Because when a woman is rested and refreshed and feeling feminine, having her nails done and all the rest of it, she is much stronger at loving and at empowering others. So the models of business that a woman needs are models that allow her this time and yet bring in great value and wealth, because we design her business in such a way that she is not exchanging dollars for hours. She leapfrogs that and makes sure that she is able to scale and grow in ways that allow her feminine self to really bloom. So that would include things like, I've got a book program. I've recently done a book with 5 other ladies. So there's 6 of us who've done a book. And it's a book on transformation. It's called Power Within, the Mission and the Magic, meaning there's a mission inside each one of you. That's your purpose. That's your heart song. And if you learn how to get it out, you get your mission out, that's when magic happens in life, in your life and in the lives of those around you, because you're living your purpose, you're living your signature that God put on your heart, that only you can give that song, that certain something to the world. And that the world will be poorer if you do not allow your heart song out. So that is our book. And we've designed it in a special way that ladies can run retreats and groups at home and monetize it from our book. So it's not only there for the individual to read, but also as a business for others. And it's designed also for other coaches to come on board and bring their chapters so that they too can get their book done and enjoy the retreats and the community that we have. I very much believe in working with teams, and I have a wonderful team of women that I work with. It's a mastermind, and I intend to grow that much bigger this year. Everybody has a unique value, and when they bring that to the table unashamed and not holding it to themselves, when we lift each other, something magic can happen. Napoleon Hill said in Think and Grow Rich that when 2 or more people come together, there's a third mind that is created, and that is called the mastermind. When we tap into the mastermind, we're tapping into the universal conscious. It goes beyond just what I think and what you think. It develops something absolutely dynamic and powerful. And so masterminds are totally transformative, and I run masterminds. I absolutely love the power that they bring in a very gentle and humble way. And then how do you work with empowerment to influence other women? So I think we've pretty much covered that question. That is question number 4. And what do you enjoy most about being an entrepreneur? Gosh, I love this question, Tasmia. So This is not going to be a quick question. I love that as an entrepreneur, I get to set my own day. I get to set my own pace. I get to call the shots. If I don't think that something is aligned with my values, then I don't take part in it. I work with what I love and what I'm passionate about, what I believe in, where my values are strong. And I get to decide, what time I work and what time I have my work out. I get to decide, am I going to work at the pool today, or am I going to work at home? Am I going to work at a restaurant with some coaches, or am I going to run a mastermind? And I love the variety that it brings, I think entrepreneurs are busy people. We love to create. And it allows me to get involved with the creativity of business, to think ahead with the vision of my business, and to truly demand more of myself than any job ever could, As an entrepreneur, I might choose to work very long hours, and I might choose to just kind of like have a day lying in the sun instead. So I love that versatility. When my energy is high, I work. And when my energy says, it's time to refresh, then I refresh. And that to me is very powerful. I also love the fact that I get to write my own paycheck. I get to decide how much money I choose to bring in the months and in the months ahead. Am I going to step up and get out of my comfort zone and develop something that's going to impact more lives? Or am I going to have a quieter month because I need to grow strong within, realign, and bring forth something that is of more value? Or am I going to dedicate my time to the family? For example, about 5 years ago, my mum was very sick. And she was dying. She'd been dying for a long time. She first of all had cancer, and then she had autoimmune disease and all sorts of things. And I started my career nursing, so I am a nurse. But because I had my own business that was sustaining me, I could down tool and I just stayed with her for the last month of her life, night and day. I slept just putting my head on her bed, or in the big comfy chair in the hospital. And I only left her to bath or change, go to the bathroom. But not many people have that privilege, that was something very dear to my heart. And I couldn't have done it. They wouldn't have allowed me if I hadn't been a nurse. So I want to just say that, because it's not something that everybody's able to do. And I'm so grateful for it. But just the fact that my business could cope without me, that the money was still coming in because I'd set it up with the right business models. Okay, this is important. This is very important to me. The way that you make your business support you. You're not there to support your business. Your business is there to support you. It must work for you, not you for it. And developing the right systems, that you're not exhausted all the time trying to just do more so that you can make more, so that you can, cover some more bills or something. I really want you to design clever businesses, ladies. And there are models that absolutely are designed for women, and those are the ones that we must run with, all right? So my business was set up like that, not with enough of the models, I have to confess, because I had to introduce more later on that I realized. Because when there was it was a brick and mortar business, and when there was a crash in the economy, locally, it didn't sustain through that. But it did allow me to be with my mum. And nothing could have been more precious than that, because women are community builders, we carers, we are the ones who step up when the family needs us as much as we're able, right? We're not always able, and I haven't always been able, so I don't want you to think that I'm saying that I'm someone I'm not. There are times when I wish I'd been at different family sides when they needed me, but whenever my business was able to, and I was able to drop things and run. And so with my mum, that was very, very precious to me. And I long for women all over the world to be able to have that kind of luxury, that abundance that says, I'm here and I'm available, and don't worry, I've got this. And so always developing our business stronger and stronger so that we can come from that place that can just step up and be the community carriers that we need to be, the community builders. So that is what I enjoy most about being an entrepreneur, just being able to be free and to be my own boss, to decide, to make choices. For example, when my husband moved to the UAE because our brick and mortar business had crashed and then his job wasn't doing so well. You know, he's a contractor and was moving, and so we came here to the UAE where the economy is stronger, like a lot of people have, right? And we're from South Africa, so the rand is not doing so very well. So this is a much stronger economy for us here. So my husband came here, and I was able to choose to come and be with him rather than stay with my brick and mortar business that was still going. You know what I mean? It was still going, and I was nursing in between. But I could choose to come here and have my other business, which I can run from my laptop and with groups of ladies and men, doing one-to-ones, doing groups, doing workshops, retreats, books, online courses, my online magazine. I've got an online magazine as well, influencermagazine.online, and it's influence without the E near the end of influencer, ladies. And it's free. It's there to encourage leadership in women entrepreneurs, people with hearts who are true influencers, those ones who have a passion for mission, passion for changing lives and contribution, a passion for bringing their value in ways that are unique and serving of others, you know. So that is what I love about being an entrepreneur. And I can just pick up my laptop and I'm good to go. You know, I absolutely love that. So that's very valuable to me. To me, you know, having my brick and mortar business, I won't do that again. I will have one day, but never as my primary income. Don't ever do that to yourselves. Don't have a location-based income either, ladies, because if you nail yourself into a location, like me, when that location crashes, when that economy crashes, you're absolutely up a creek without a paddle. You're stuck. So make sure that your business is global, not local. Have a local component. I believe your business should always have 3 components. The first component should be, there should be a local component, I think, because that keeps the one-to-one, it keeps us bonding, keeps us face-to-face with real people, real connections, you know. Human touch is so valuable. And I look at some online entrepreneurs and they've lost a human side. There's the human touch that they've lost. So don't do that to yourselves. Make sure that you've got 1/3 of your business local or face-to-face with events. The other thing is 1/3 of it should be online, or 2/3. 1/3 online active, because that helps us to continually get feedback from people, develop our products better, make sure that we are continually developing something that gives our clients better results. And there's nothing like that one-to-one feedback for that. And then the next level, so 1/3 is active, but not necessarily local. So that would be writing your books, doing your things like that, growing your online presence, your courses, your things like that. And 1/3 needs to be passive income. So that would be your written books, your evergreen courses, your things that are generating an income without you needing to be there, the things that pay you when you sleep. All right, so 3 components, don't forget it. The first is local, because it's face-to-face, real, human, keeps us grounded. That's important, but you don't want to bank on that. So make sure that as you build, it's the easiest to build and the most economical, but it can also get you totally stuck in time traps, because it's very hungry for time, and it can keep you trapped in local and a local economy. So then you want to make sure that you are also having your global reach and active, and then that you're building 1/3 passive. so that that side's growing in the background, but you've got your eye on it because you know that that's what you're building towards. All right. I watch lots of people who've only got a local business, and when they haven't heard in their heart about the other aspects, they only build local, and they just run faster and faster through this treadmill of life, through this rat race, because they're trying to grow a business and they don't know how to scale it properly because it's such a time-hungry thing, a local business. All right. And then what? How do I motivate myself through difficult times? Wow. First of all, I'm absolutely a huge fan of self-development. I always have been. Love Tony Robbins' work. He's my absolute hero. I think I've been in love with Tony Robbins all my life. And I devour his trainings while I bath, while I cook, while I'm doing housework or driving. Any of my time that I can use for something else is when I'm devouring training and motivation. And then obviously that amazing music that I use for my workouts and things like that, that high vibe stuff that just takes me to the next level. Tony Robbins' training and the training that I've done with him as well has taught me how to do state management. So that's managing your emotional state, how you show up in any moment so that you're forever performing at a level 10. I absolutely guard my energy, which I think is very, very important. So I guard it with diet and how there's certain things that crash my energy. And so I try not to eat those, especially if I know what's coming up in the days ahead, because I know the effect that that food will have on me. So learning my body, learning what lifts me, learning what drains my energy, and absolutely being driven with purpose. Because when you know that your life was not here for you, everything changes. And as a little baby, I almost died. I was sick for 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, and on the brink of death at about 8 months old. And I have memories of that. And I think it's given me this unbelievable drive for life. I also grew up during a war. And when you've grown up in these life and death situations, or you've lived through them, you have a very different look on life to people who've not touched death. And then obviously I went nursing, and I would sit holding patients' hands while they were passing, because many nurses were too afraid to, and they would run away and not go into that patient's room. But to me, that's a very sacred time, and that person needs love and touch and encouragement, that their life was worth something. Is there anything they still need to make them more comfortable? And when you're in touch with life like that, obviously I'm a midwife, I've delivered, I don't know if it's 28 babies, I think at the moment my numbers are 28 babies that I've delivered. You have a very different aspect on life, and that life is not just about you, that it's very, very vulnerable. It's incredibly precious. You cannot take it for granted, but that it's got a purpose, and that we will give an account of our lives and of every moment. So I'm driven with passion to live for my purpose and to really deliver something that at the end of my day I can say, I did a good job. And I didn't show up always, but I did my darndest, and I gave my all, and I continually learned to up my game and to deliver at higher and higher values. And to do that, I had to increase my confidence. I had to learn how to become confident on camera, which really was a big deal. And public speaking was never my thing. I used to stutter and stammer. I was always the kid who hated standing up in class saying what they'd learned or asking a question. So this has been something that I've had to really break through. Doing breakthrough transformation trainings. You know, I've walked on fire, which was incredible. I've walked on beds of glass through training, which was absolutely mind-blowing. You just learn so much from these different experiences. And I smashed through a very big block of wood that only third-year karate students are allowed to do, because it can break your hand. So I was trained how to think, my mindset, how to approach it, and I use these tactics in my business and in life, and I train other people in how to use the psychology of that to move ahead and to not focus on what frightens us, but to focus on the victory ahead. You know, for example, I don't know if you know, but when the shuttle Challenger came back from the moon, there was something called moon sickness. All the astronauts were becoming terribly sick, and they were dying. And they had isolated them because they called this moon sickness. They didn't know if they'd caught something on the moon. And then they realized their psychology was wrong. It's the same as people who climb Kilimanjaro. If your aim is to get up to the top of that mountain, you won't come back. You will die up there. Your aim has to be to come back down the mountain safely, not to get up there safely, to get up there, enjoy it, and come back and tell the world. People who go up Kilimanjaro with the wrong mindset do not make the trip back. And this is what had happened to the moon people. The astronauts were so focused on this excitement of getting to the moon that when they came back, it didn't seem like there was anything left to live for. All the bubble in their life had gone out. So it's always important to have that next thing. It's the same with people, for example, who retire. Many people die quite quickly after retirement. If they haven't set exciting goals to draw them on, they kind of feel like life is worthless, and they just cease to have the heart to live. Does that make sense? So continually pushing out of your comfort zone is very, very important, and I believe in that very much. So if I, for example, I hate speaking publicly, so then I had to learn to sing publicly. Always take it to that next level, because everything that you want in life is just outside of your comfort zone. And when you learn to push yourself to where you're no longer comfortable, you become who you really are. That was just a barrier that was holding you back. So this is what I do to motivate myself. And I do a great Pilates workout, which always motivates me. And I continually am upbeat. What I also do, and this is not everybody's thing, but it's definitely my thing, is I dress up. I discovered working from home at a laptop and being a Pilates instructor, I used to sometimes hang out in my yoga pants, my Pilates pants much of the day, because it was just me and my laptop and nobody knew any the wiser. And so what anyway, And what happened was I'd done my game down. When I decided I needed to step up and dress up and show up at a whole new level, it was amazing how much more I accomplished. When I walked, even if it was just to the kitchen, it was upbeat and fast. When I made decisions, it was faster. When I needed to think, I was on my game. So I really encourage you to step up, dress up, and show up at a whole new level, because there's something in the psychology of just looking fantastic or fabulous that makes you perform at that level that really is. And I mean that for your bodies too. I mean, make sure that your bodies are amazing. Get yourself into that place where you're feeling good. When you're feeling good, you deliver good. When you're a bit shy of who you are and your shape, or different things that you're not working on, you most certainly will not be able to show up at the same level. So that's what I do for motivation. And then the next question is, what piece of advice? Oh, motivation as well. I really I keep away from the news. I keep away from the drama. I keep away from negativity. And I change the conversation to be upbeat. Can you see I move my body in a way that makes me feel better? And this is how I break my pattern that it might be negative. When you change your pattern of thinking, you change the way that you breathe, the way that you stand, the way that you think, and the value that you can bring. There are also very clever things that you can do to change a negative mindset if you're going into a loop and becoming afraid, things that allow you to break through those comfort zones. And so I train in those as well. Some of them involve eye movements. I've got a whole lot of stuff on my Facebook page, but it's a lot of fun, but it's probably more than we can cover here. And I always listen to Tony Robbins. Absolutely amazing. What piece of advice would I give to women? Wow. I think today's been all about advice for women, and that is that you are not alone. We're in this together. Women work very, very strongly in collaboration. We're really good at collaborating and make sure that everybody is benefiting. Studies show us that when men and women study together, the men do well, but the women don't really. When men study alone, they don't do as well alone as they do when they're with women. They do better when they're with women. But when women are alone, we really shine. And so, ladies, I encourage you to grow strong as groups of women. I've got a wonderful group of women. Please come and join us. I've got a business group, and then I've got a feminine genius group. The feminine genius group would mostly focus on just being transforming as women, and then I've got the business group as well. So let me know if you want to join those and get in touch here on the ground in the UAE, and I definitely intend doing more workshops and retreats of trainings around the globe this year. This is going to be an absolutely exciting year for that. So ladies, grow strong together. And I encourage you, stop dumbing down because the world's not comfortable with your femininity. Stop dumbing down that people are not, they're afraid when a woman speaks strongly. When a woman speaks strongly, she is not aggressive, she's assertive, but the world doesn't know how to handle that. And it takes a very strong man who's also incredibly gentle to be able to manage being around a strong woman. And so many times, I know for myself, I've often dumbed right down and tried to be this gentle peacekeeper because I love the peace. But in so doing, I've sacrificed who I am and my own essence and who I am supposed to be for the world, my own heart song. And I ask you, ladies, don't do that. Don't do that thinking that you are sacrificing yourself to give life to others. You are not. You are robbing the world of who you truly are and the value that you have to bring to the table. So stand up, shine, stop being a wallflower. Get out there and be gorgeous and glamorous and fabulous and bring your magic to the world, because the world will not be as great as it can be. You're not going to release the magic on the world until your mission is released and you've brought forward that power within you. First of all, you have to discover your own power within, which is what transformation is all about, and then you have to learn how to deliver it. And I encourage you strongly to form a business based on your mission, because that allows a woman to truly deliver at a much higher level. And then we've got question number 8. My favorite quotes. Here's one that I absolutely love. That's a Joe Hawkins quote. And I finish my emails and messages like this frequently. Live wholeheartedly, love unconditionally, create a legacy wherever you go, and in whatever you do, choose to be you. Being true to you is more important than you can ever imagine, and finding your heart song, aligning with your purpose and your mission, and truly being the best version of yourself, constantly stepping up to higher and higher levels, because we have a full potential self that we develop. And that is where life starts becoming rich and fulfilling and joyful and peaceful. And it doesn't matter what chaos is going on around us. When we are grounded in that purpose and in that fulfillment, everything is beautiful. And that is when we can truly create magic, because we are strong from our very core, from that place where God placed a seed of his own being, that is our unique reflection of God. When we're in touch with that, that is our source, that is our center, that is our power. We are truly able to deliver at a much higher value, and the world becomes happier and we become happier. They reflect us and we reflect them, and it's magnified. Like a diamond held in the light, or magnifying glass. That is when true power comes, because that light becomes something that is carried further. And then links for my Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. My page is where I do most of my communicating with everybody. Is my fan page, my business page, and that is Jo Hawkins Official. So facebook.com/Jo Hawkins Official. You can also find me at hawklinks.com, johawkins.online, my influencer magazine.online, influencer with no E near the end, influencermagazine.online. Sign up. There's lots of wonderful free resources for you there. On my website, I've got fantastic free trainings for you there. I'm on YouTube, Instagram as abundance.with.jo, and also Influencer Magazine is there on Instagram. So that's where I am at the moment. I definitely intend to grow more, but that's where I'm growing strong. I'm on LinkedIn a little bit. So LinkedIn is also Jo Hawkins Official. And please connect. Let me know what impacted you most. What changed you? I'd love to know what you are going to take away that makes all the difference. So, for example, when I learn something, I try to really learn one thing, just one thing from that training that is going to totally change my life so that I can deliver at a higher value. So I want to know what from what I've shared today is going to change your life. What is that one thing that made all the difference? Promise me you'll get in touch and let me know. Get hold of my free resources, and dialogue. Jump into my groups. And so the groups are, we've got a few groups, ladies and gentlemen. There's the Feminine Genius. The Feminine Genius, jump in there for the ladies' transformation. And then we've got business groups. So get hold of me about that, because that's sort of like a private group that I pull people into. And for my private clients and my one-to-ones and my groups. And then I also have my book group. So that is facebook.com/power within and just a big U. Power Within You is the group for the book. And our book's name, you can find it on Amazon, and it's an ebook and paperback at the moment. I definitely would like to put it out a hardcover. It's also for retreats. There's going to be online courses for it, and it is called Power Within, the Mission and the Magic. And it's got a great big unicorn on the front, and then our faces at the bottom. So do get hold of that and enjoy it. And we're going to be having book launches around the country. We're going to be signing and autographing those books. When you come to many of our events, the books will be given away free. So I do hope to see you there. And thank you so much, Tasmia, for asking me here today, and for the opportunity to share with the valued voices and being part of such a wonderful initiative. And congratulations on everything that you are doing to make a difference, and for bringing your unique value to the world. Because, a rising tide lifts all ships, and that is what you're doing. So thank you, my darling girl, for that. And hope to see you soon again. And yes, just sending such abundance. And before I go, I want to say, live wholeheartedly, love unconditionally, create a legacy wherever you go, and in whatever you do, choose to be you. I'm Jo Hawkins, and catch me on Facebook and everywhere else, and let me know the one thing that most impacted you from this talk today. Thanks, hey.